So, found a bunch of old watercolor paint in the garage from the days back when I was in college. So this paint is over 20 years old and dried out within the tube. If I shake it, you can hear the paint rattling around inside. Because it's watercolor, it's still good. All you have to do is add water. But the trick is to get it out of the tube. I got myself a bunch of these little Korean side dish plates at the local international market, and I've labeled them with the color of what the paint is. So in this case it's burnt umber. I'm just gonna cut open this tube and put the pigment in the bowl so that I can use it on my new palette. I've been working digital a lot of the years, which is why all this paint has been languishing in the garage. So let's see if it's still good and see if I can get some mileage out of it. I'm taking some suture scissors to cut it open and tear it. So you can see little chunks of pigment that are coming out of the tube already, and all I need to do is unscrew the cap while it's still connected to the tube, toss that, and let's see what I can get out of here. You can smell the paint. It smells like it's brand new, other than the fact that it's dry. Looks like chocolate in there, huh? Just crumble it all up and let it come out. The tube itself is just made of foil, so not much of a challenge other than getting the paint out of the tube. It's like peeling a tangerine or something. I did this one earlier. That one came out in one nice big chunk. But when you hear it rattling, it means it's broken inside and it's contracted from the sides. So now this tube is empty and I can just toss that. So I've got brown madder alizarin and burnt umber here, and this one still feels like it's liquid inside, so I'm not going to cut that open. Portions. Okay, this one, I think I bought this, I'm pretty sure, in 1989, so that's how old this paint is. So let's try doing this one. This is French Ultramarine. I may do this one because I can feel portions of it are soft, but I don't think it'll come out of the front end of the tube, so I will hold off on doing this one and do this one, which to me feels completely solid. This is French Ultramarine, whereas this one is just plain Ultramarine. Not sure if there's enough difference to justify getting it its own bowl, but let's just see what happens. So this is how I'm gonna spend maybe the next couple of hours getting all this paint out of here. Okay, so now I just tear it. Oh, better take off the cap. Let's see this thing come out in one solid piece. Feels very plasticky, kind of like a dried acrylic paint. It smells pretty pungent. I'm not worried about getting myself dirty because as you can see, the inside of the tube is like almost immaculate. But anyway, it's funny because I find myself doing these little tasks that are outside of the realm of actually painting that I actually find very fun, you know? I guess you could compare it to like knitting or crocheting or something of that nature. And that is it for this guy. I don't know if I can get the end cap off. Don't know if it'll peel. as easily in the same way. I think I need pliers for this. What I can do is submerge it, or at least get it wet, get some water in here between the paint and the cap, and maybe that'll help break it up. But anyway, there's French Ultramarine. Let's try this Payne's Gray. Already it does not have a cap, so I'm sure that this one is crunchy inside. In fact, I may even break it up while it's still in the tube to make it easier for me to get it out. So, let's see. Tore the back end off, opening it up. Slice the tube, and let's just peel it away. I'm not horribly concerned about remembering what color. I got a call coming in. Alright, I'm signing off. Telemarketers. I wish that Vonage, my phone service, would let me just block people that I recognize, you know? I hate seeing their numbers on the caller ID and then ignoring the phone while it just rings. So I've switched to another color. This is burnt sienna, which feels fairly soft inside. Let's see if it'll open up as easily. Now, it's still kind of wet. Not terrific. But I may not do this one, because it will get messy. I'm going to have to scrape that one clean. It's alizarin. Should be a good one. Notice that certain colors remain hard, whereas some remain soft. So, trash that. You know, there is a value to having some of these old colors, because a lot of these paint companies, they change the formulas of their colors. Like, I remember a few years back, alizarin crimson shifted the hue and the value of alizarin crimson in their you know, smaller acrylic bottles, not the tubes, but the bottles. And this one's kind of wet too. Let's see. Let me just cut this one up and scrape that one as well. I am trying to keep it so that it's a minimum of a mess on my end. Let me try something. So, it's a lot more tedious than I thought it was going to be. Will I be able to salvage this bit of pigment? Who knows? If I saturate it with enough water, I think I will be able to. But there's kind of a trick to it, I guess, to get it to open up. Well, I can just leave this portion of the tube in the bowl with it that get all wet. And there we go. Yeah. Get it all wet and get it open. I don't think a palette knife would help me in this instance, because this stuff is just too gooey to get a good grip on. Like this little chunk of paint under my fingernail now, I can scrape it, put it in the bowl. It's kind of gross, huh? Fingernail scrapings saved for our aesthetic purposes. I'm rambling now. I may not even put this portion on the DVD, but I will open up this. So there's alizarin crimson. I don't see any. A lot of these other colors are still fairly soft. Those are the ones that were actually challenging. I may be able to get some of these out of the tube normally, but others I may not. I may fiddle around with this ivory white. Got a big container for this because these two guys are pretty solid. Alright, I'm going to stop this video.